What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation, and I am still coming at you from the Springfield terminal. Looks like my driver just got in last night, so she has a few things that she might have to deal with, but hopefully we'll both be on the road here pretty soon. I'm going through my comments last night and everything, and pure negative comments. I'm just going to start deleting those comments, and if it's bad enough, I'm just going to start blocking people. Not because I really care personally, but I just don't want anybody that's thinking about leasing, going company, going owner-operator, whatever the situation is, to be deterred by just some of this negativity. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully a little bit of wisdom that I could pass on to some of you younger people out there is be very careful who you get your advice from. There's a lot of different advice out there, but typically if that advice is negative, I'm gonna give you a good example, and it's similar to trucking. When I first bought my second house, or I was thinking about buying it, and this is way back, like 2000, it's early 2000. I was gonna buy this other property, and you get some advice, oh, don't do that, the quickest way to go broke, or they're gonna be tearing up your shit, or just all the negative stuff, right? That's the shit not to listen to, all right? Okay, whether you're going company and you have some lease person telling you don't go company, it's a bad idea, whatever. Anytime you even get a sense of that negativity, that's bad advice. I don't care how successful they are, I don't care about any of that stuff. That's bad advice if it's starting off with some negativity. So along with all that negative stuff, when I was buying that, my second property was, then you'd have people, okay, well, here's what you want to do. You want to set up a separate account for this, you want to do this, not advice and tell me how stupid it is or what a bad idea it is, but advice on how to actually accomplish your goal. So if I'm reading through a comment and somebody says, don't ever go lease, it's a scam. You know what? I don't care if you've been in the trucking industry for 40 years. If you're telling me in 40 years you haven't seen anybody become successful with a regular lease purchase, I don't know where you've been, because I've seen them, and I've only been out here for 3 years. So if you or anybody wants to call me or anybody else unsuccessful, and this wasn't even targeted at me, this was targeted, somebody asked a question and somebody had to come in with that negativity on an answer. So if you're going to tell me that anybody that does a lease purchase, whether it's 1, 2, multiple, whatever, that in 3 years they have a truck paid off with 300,000 miles on it or less, that's a stupid decision, I'm gonna have to totally disagree. And the reason I'm so passionate about this is I almost didn't go lease because of some bad information that was put out there, some negativity that was put out there, and I'm hoping it doesn't happen to anybody else. Myself, I'm not going to sit here and shit on anything anybody wants to do. If you say that you want to go company, you know what? I have never dissuaded anybody from going company. If somebody wants to do a regular lease, I'll tell them how I feel that you can make that successful. And I may not be the only person to listen to out there. Get your information from multiple sources, but don't listen to anybody that's throwing any negative stuff out there. I mean, it'd be as easy as me saying, don't go owner-operator. The percentage of owner-operators failing is greater than company drivers and lease drivers combined. The failure rate is, I could do that. If I was an owner-operator or somebody trying to give advice to somebody, I would tell somebody how to succeed, not why they're going to fail. And I was told when I first got into this that I was going to fail and I was going to be eating ramen noodles and all this kind of stuff. First of all, which is one of the reasons why I'm a little more conservative than some people with the amount of money I have set aside and stuff like that, whether it be in personal life or in trucking is that it would have been impossible for me to fail. You know what I'm saying? So, as a matter of fact, I was kind of side note. I was talking to a guy the other day, and I asked him, because he's just going through orientation right now, and he was saying, well, I just plan on going company. I heard that again. I don't know why people feel like they have to say they're just going company and make it feel like they have to apologize for that. And we started talking about it, and started asking a few questions about leasing. So I was like, well, what's your money situation like? All this kind of stuff. And I was like, as a matter of fact, I had a similar conversation with another person that's actually driving company right now. And I listed what I thought the main reasons were people might fail at leasing. And when I was speaking to these two people, I was like, well, or at least, well, I think there's three main things, and both of these people had two of those things covered. They happen to be different because they were different positions, but these are reasons why you might want to go lease if you're thinking about it. Not you shouldn't go company, you ain't gonna make no money, that's stupid. I mean, if you start seeing, and I'm just gonna say this straight up, and this could be friend wise, this could be whatever. If you're talking to somebody and it's always some negative shit, you gotta cut them loose. You know what I'm saying? I could just imagine if all the friends that I had out here in the trucking industry, every time I turned around, they were, they had some negative attitude about some shit. I mean, that stuff starts wearing on you after a while. And that's what they mean when they say your friends will bring you down, or bad friends will bring you down. So my advice is don't take advice from anybody that's trying to throw any kind of negativity in with their advice. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not advice. That's just either telling you dumb for contemplating what you plan on doing, rather than telling you how you can accomplish what you're trying to do. So anyway, enough about that. Get tired of that. You know what I'm saying? Got these ashy knuckles again. I think that should be my trademark. But anyway, they're ashy because I've been dealing with this little snow out here, trying to move stuff from truck to truck. But anyway, yeah, don't listen to that. I mean, there are several things that several things in this industry that I could say, I may not necessarily agree with, or it might not fit in my plan, but for me to say somebody's not going to be successful. There's another trucking channel out there. I'm not even going to mention his name, but he's been driving for a long time, and he spent the majority of his time as a company driver. Just went lease maybe about 2 years ago. Now, if you want to tell me that he was a failure because he was a company driver he's been driving, I think, since like the early 90s. I can't see how that's a failure. Because if you listen to him, he's already set to retire. All he's ready to do is wait for his wife and all this kind of stuff. I mean, what defines a failure in the trucking industry? Or what defines somebody getting ripped off? If you want to, like I said, if you want to say that a failure is, statistics, I guess, would show that the highest failure rate in the trucking industry would be owner-operators. But if I was to be an owner-operator, I would not fail. And that's not saying that it's because I'm such a good trucker or anything like that. It's just I'm set up to where it would be impossible for me. Well, impossible is a strong word. It would be very hard for me to fail doing that. But yet, if I was going to do it, I already know there'd be a bunch of people out there saying, oh, that's stupid. Don't go owner-operator. You're just set up to fail. The market's going to drop. whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't even know where this rant is going. Just don't listen to none of this negative bullshit that's out here going around. I'm just going to start deleting these comments. And then somebody's going to say that I'm censoring somebody or something like that. You know what? I'm just cutting down all the negativity and stupidity on the page, because it's going to keep somebody, or maybe deter somebody, from doing something that can make them successful. There's a bunch of different ways to be successful in the trucking industry. Do not let anybody feel like, or make you feel like, you need to follow one specific path or avoid one path. How many successful lease people do I know? A ton of them. And they could be lease drivers that are just doing a regular lease with whatever company that is. That could be people that have lease trucks that have people, signed on to them. I know a ton of those. I know a bunch of successful owner-operators, the only person that's not successful in this business are people that aren't trying in this business. So I don't want to hear it. Now, that doesn't mean if you failed that you didn't try. I'm just saying that, hopefully you get my point. But anyway, I'm going to end this rant right now. I'm feeling a little bit hungry. I need to get a hold of my driver and see kind of what's going on with that situation. And, get back. You only have a little bit more stuff to move out of my truck, but that is wearing me out. Anyway, thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Sorry for the long rant. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.